What will the future hold for this rookie quarterback class? Now, I bring this up. I just want to do a little history. Can we go back to the history books for a second? Because when you look at all the draft classes, we could even go the last 10-plus years, right? You want to go back a few years? Let's start around 10-plus years ago. Let's go to 2011.
Sure.
The 4 first-round picks. Cam Newton, thumbs up. Jake Locker, Blaine Gabbert, Christian Ponder, right? So 1 out of 4, right?
Okay.
When you talk about, like, I'm not saying these guys did not have careers that I would die for, right? They played in the NFL. But when you talk about first-round picks being franchise guys that worked out, Cam Newton, there's your answer, right?
Mm-hmm. So what are you saying? There's a 1 for 4 chance?
That was 2011.
Okay.
2011, you were looking at 1 out of 4. 2012, Andrew Luck.
I mean, people are saying Hall of Famer.
Retired early. Oh, not a Hall of Famer. Retired early, but
don't say it.
But good.
Don't knock it too quick. People
Andrew,
are saying that he might be.
He's
Luck. Eligible.
Thumbs up. RG3 potential, but injuries, right?
Injuries totally derailed him for sure.
Ryan Tannehill's hung in there. I'd say that's mid-level. Brian Whedon.
So that's almost, honestly,
looking at a 50% clip.
That's a 50% shot right there. Because RG3 would have been something. Injuries took him down. So, yeah, it didn't turn out the way he wanted to, but you had Luck and Tannehill.
2013, thin class. Only E.J. Manuel. Let's be honest. And that, played well for a minute. All right, 2014. Blake Bortles had a pretty solid NFL career. So I'd say thumbs up, a 3rd overall pick. Had a couple playoff runs, but okay. I'll give him an okay. Johnny Manziel.
Which, by the way, I think this is where the thought came from, right? We're watching his documentary.
It's a great documentary.
Untold. We've been talking about it all week. Makes you think of all the quote-unquote busts.
Yeah. Teddy Bridgewater. He's hanging around. So I would say Blake Bortles, Teddy Bridgewater, respectable NFL careers. Not a superstar. Johnny Manziel, unfortunately, all the potential in the world. In another timeline in life, would have been cool to see if he put the work and effort in, what he could have been. 2015. And by the way, jump in if you disagree with any of this. Jameis Winston. Oh, moments where you thought it was going to happen, but let's be honest. Number 1 pick. Marcus Mariota. I didn't love him anymore after watching quarterback. Backup guy, like a solid quarterback in the NFL, but not a guy that, when you look at Winston Mariota, that's a failed draft class, right?
He's kind of failing upwards, though, landing with the Eagles.
Well, you know what?
My dad said that. My dad goes, imagine, God forbid, something happens to Jalen Hurts. Marcus Mariota is being given the keys to probably the best NFC team.
Yeah, but at least, when you compare him to Manziel, at least he puts the efforts in.
No, that's true.
That's the difference.
That was 20.
That's what you saw in quarterback.
15. Winston and Mariota, right? I think you see what I'm getting at. 2016. We'll go quick. Goff. Rejuvenated his career.
Mm-hmm.
Went to a Super Bowl with the Rams. Now everyone's so high on the Detroit Lions. So Goff, I'm going to give a thumbs up. Carson Wentz, MVP candidate 1 year and then got hurt.
Injuries. But all the potential in the world.
Paxton Lynch? Nope. Sorry, Broncos. 2017. Trubisky. Deshaun Watson? Off the field, you don't really love him, but, he's still in the mix, right? And Mahomes. Oh, big ding-ding for that one.
What'd you say? He got what?
2018. Baker. Darnold.
Oh, hold on. These stories aren't completely written.
Okay, as we get closer, you're right, the stories aren't written. But Baker so far, meh. Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Josh Allen, yes.
There you go.
Josh Rosen.
And remember, he talked such a big game, too. So
you're going to be sorry. You're going to be sorry, NFL. Whoever didn't draft me. Yeah, Josh Rosen, tell me more.
He was going to make everyone regret not picking him.
He really didn't get a fair shake,
he didn't.
It's like,
poor Josh Rosen.
It's like your guys' TV show on ESPN.
Dude, yeah, put it on at 1 in the morning and tell me you want ratings. So, let me tell you, Danny G, you ain't kidding. Lamar Jackson, great. So, again, my point here is that you're looking at like a 50% clip, maybe even less, right? 2019.
Most of the time less, yeah.
2019. The unfortunate passing of Dwayne Haskins. Daniel Jones got the big money, still to be determined, right? And Kyler Murray, to be determined, got the big money, but as of right now, they're predicted to have one of the worst records in the league.
Right.
So if you tell me that he's your guy, is your guy that bad that they're going to be the worst team in the NFL? We'll see. That was 2019, and then let's go 2020.
So if you're going to say 1 out of 4, is that what you're getting at?
Burrow. This is 2020. Burrow, home run for the Bengals. Tua, if he stays healthy.
Maybe touchdown. Touchdown.
Touchdown. Did I say home run?
Yeah.
3-pointer. Tua. If he stays healthy, we'll see what Miami does. That's not a bad one. Herbert, all right. And Jordan Love finally gets a chance this year. So as we get closer, and then you go 2021, Trevor Lawrence, yeah. Zach Wilson, he's going to sit for a couple years. We shall see. Trey Lance, already not even playing. Justin Fields, got a lot of potential. Mac Jones, I feel like deep down inside, we've already sort of given up on Mac Jones, unless something happens this year. And then 2 years ago, Kenny Pickett, we shall see. So we're looking at
yes, he can.
We're looking at a clip at 50%. So let me ask you, Dan Byer, Danny G, Big Papa, Covino, Spotty. When you look at Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson,
who's the one guy?
The odds are, the odds are
1.5 make it.
The odds are one guy sucks, one guy's a freaking stud,
one guy
and one guy's
did or he gets hurt.
Yeah,
that's really it.
One guy could end up being a respectable 500 quarterback and hangs around the league. One guy could be a playoff Super Bowl contender, and one guy in a year from now we're gonna be like, what a bust.
But unless you have that crystal ball, it's just anybody's guess.
You don't have a crystal ball, but if you were to take what you know about the teams they're on, the management, the coaching, like when you saw. I'm not saying Sam Darnold's a stud, but when you saw him get drafted by the Jets, same with Zach Wilson, you were like, they're doomed.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers, someone of Aaron Rodgers' caliber is the only one that could really go there with personnel and change it around. So Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, this is where we ask you, because I got thoughts. I want to know what you think. 877-99 on Fox. Let's chop it up. Who's the touchdown? Who's the all right? And who's the bust? Because I hate to say it, the odds would tell you not all three are sticking around long term. It just doesn't happen. You may want to feel that in your heart of hearts. Like, these three young studs, I hope they make it. Football history will tell you it's not going to happen. By the way, let's go to your phone calls. And Denny, if you have any thoughts, let's go. We'll start with Jaden in Wyoming. We went over the last 10 or so NFL drafts, and we realized facts are facts. I got 50% clip of whether or not these first-round quarterbacks work out or not. Some are to be determined because they're the last couple of years. But the reality is, let's say you pick any draft 10, 15 years ago. It's like, 4 first-rounders? That quarterback was great. He played for 5 years, became a backup, and those two stunk. It's pretty consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Jaden, Wyoming. What's up, man? What do you think of Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson? Who's got the hype? Who's got the juice? And who's the sad story, man?
Yeah, so I think if you look back at all those statistics that you were talking about, I'd be curious if you went back and looked at who had a quarterback that sat, kind of like Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and had that type of story, maybe Zach Wilson. And all three of these guys look like they're going to start. And so I'd be curious to see which franchises have successful first-rounders as well. But I think it's got to be Bryce Young or Anthony Richardson. I just don't see C.J. Stroud panning out with that horrible organization. And
sometimes a bad organization and 1 or 2 years could destroy a young man's confidence and his whole trajectory.
Depending on where they are, sometimes they're thrown out there, to the wolves, and they don't have a chance to develop. Some people sit around and learn and step up when their time comes. So
we're not
everybody's
as patient.
path is different.
That's what I wrote down right here. Situation. Anthony Richardson, the Colts are kind of game planning around his skill on the field. He's in a really good position right now because his strengths are going to be used there in Indianapolis. So I think he's going to be really good. But Bryce Young, everything we've seen and heard and coming out of camp there and the way he has impressed the entire organization, I'm really going to be surprised if that's a whiff.
Or a woof.
I looked at all three teams' win total Vegas odds. Bryce Young, Carolina, 7.5 wins over under. So they're predicting this team to be a little below 500, slightly below 500, 500-ish. That division stinks, though. So if Bryce Young got hot and this team clicked, they could win that division. Who are we banking on? Derek Carr finding magic with New Orleans because he's got some receivers? C.J. Stroud. Another bad division. So you're looking at 6.5 is their over-under in Vegas. But again, Houston's sort of a mess. Anthony Richardson, 6.5 in Indianapolis. So we shall see. Anthony Richardson, they talk about this guy's talent more than his football skill. So if he could somehow find a way to his athleticism, they're making it seem like it's off the charts.
And I hate to bring up RG3, but he had unlimited talent too.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Matt in Minnesota. What's up, Matt?
Hey, Matt.
Hey guys, how's it going?
What's up, man? What's your thoughts? Who's the winner of this year's draft?
Yeah, I think when you look at all the organizations that they went to, none of them I think are ideal for the quarterback spot. So I got to fall back on the size and the frame and the ability of Anthony Richardson. I feel like his floor is the safest and probably less injury prone than Bryce Young.
Looking at by the overall potential of the player, yeah.
And you know what? We do need to be a little patient with these guys. I saw a stat, and it just reminded me how bad Peyton Manning was early on. Then I saw something I totally forgot. I mean, we all knew that. We all knew, like, Peyton broke the rookie interception record, and now he was god-awful until he became the Peyton Manning commander of the field we know today. You know, that Hall of Famer, one of the best ever. That's the guy we know. We forget terrible picks every couple throws, Peyton Manning. I forgot that Troy Aikman, I mean, I know he was surrounded by a great team, and that's sort of why he has the legacy he has. Troy Aikman's a great quarterback, but it doesn't hurt that he was on the 90s Cowboys. Rookie year, Troy Aikman was 1-15. Patience, my friends. But I do wonder if one of these guys, is it Bryce Young? Is it C.J. Stroud? Is it Anthony Richardson? To quote Pee Wee Herman, the late great, I don't know. But I'll tell you this, my bet is on the athleticism and size of Anthony Richardson. Because guys with talent that are smaller, it's a little trickier. I know size. You could say, oh, Drew Brees and Mahomes, these guys aren't huge, but yep.
These smaller dudes don't always translate.
We'll see. Injury prone maybe.